The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, and thanks for joining our webinar this morning. I want to just start by telling you that we are recording the webinar this morning for your use, whether later today or tomorrow. Again, this is Jim Guinan with Insurance Agency Marketing, and today's topic is the IAMS 1040 checklist. And we will be getting into that presentation. I will be both your host and presenter today. So I want to talk with you a little bit about some things going on here at Insurance Agency Marketing, just a little bit of our commercial, talk to you about some incentives, and also some new events coming that just have been coming up here lately at our brokerage, and we want to share those with you. So we appreciate your attendance today. I will try to be brief with our intro and get into the topic very quickly. And then as you have questions, you can type those in, and we'll be glad to answer those for you. So with that, I just want to get started here this morning. We do appreciate it. Hope everyone had a nice Thanksgiving. And so let's talk a little bit about some things going on here at our brokerage, and we'll move on. So the first thing I want to visit with you about are a couple ways that we put money in your pocket as a producer. And that is, first of all, our referred producer program, and then also our marketing reimbursement. Now, our referred producer program is pretty simple. You refer producers that you know that are writing fixed annuity or life business, and we will pay you a bonus of $50 when that referral contracts, and then $100 or more when they do business. Again, this is a override that we pay you for the business that they write. This is not limited to one or two people. You can refer a number of individuals, and you can therefore be earning basically a referred producer bonus on the business as they go forward. And so again, it's our way of saying thank you for putting us in touch with those individuals. It's not a big bonus up front, but it's an ongoing override that you can earn. And the more business they write, the more you get paid. Okay. And then the marketing reimbursement program continues to be successful for us because we're basically helping you with your business expenses. And so as you write your index business, your single premium life, your target life premium, there's money that goes into a reimbursement account and can build up, or you can redeem it when you have a business expense. And again, we will reimburse you 50% of your business expenses. So we need the receipts to know that that's what it's being used for. But again, our way of saying thank you for the ongoing business that you write, that is a account, again, that you can build up to a rather sizable amount. It doesn't have to be cleared out by the end of the year or a specific date. Okay, and then the other incentive that we offer now still is our new producer bonus. And the new producer bonus is pretty straightforward also. For your first 180 days of being contracted with us here, you will receive these types of incentive thresholds. So as you go forward 6 months out, as you attain those thresholds, those are the types of things that you can look to be rewarded with. And again, it doesn't list it, but for the $500,000 level, there is also a gift card or a cash incentive that can be paid to you. So again, not too hard if you're an annuity writer to hit a level of even a 300 or 500 in 6 months. But again, it doesn't have to be necessarily a cash redemption for you. You could use it in the way of a mailing for a seminar or a travel package, anything you'd really like. So again, our way of saying thank you for placing business with us immediately after contracting with us in your first 6 months. Our back office support, I can't say enough about the people that support you and what you do as you place business with us, but also the same people that help us in the marketing area. So in the contracting, for example, many of you that are already appointed are appointed with numerous carriers and can appoint with future carriers without filling out every single time you want to get another company. I know it seems like a drag to get appointed with multiple carriers at times. However, by using our paperless or universal contract, 90% of the companies we represent are on that system. So if you want to add a new life carrier or one of our annuity carriers, odds are you already have that established. You just let me know, let Chris know, let your marketer know, and we can take care of it for you. Also, our quote team continues to support us, especially in the annuity area, also in life. If you need an illustration, something designed specifically, let us know and we'll get those out for you. We try to get those out to you in a matter of hours, not days. We do also have case managers that work with you on your pending cases, both for life and annuity. So again, all those are things to save you time. Our job is to try and do as much work as a home office would do for you, and it saves you time to let you do what you need to do, whether it's work or pleasure. Okay, a creative department has been very, very busy lately. Jacob tells us one of the things that has been keeping them quite active is branding. They get a lot of requests lately now for branding. So if you have maybe have a brand now, but you'd like to tie it in a little bit more with everything you do and your website, maybe you don't have a website. If you'd like to talk with that team, please reach out to the creative department, Jacob and Sean, and they'd be glad to help you with those needs and give you an idea of what they can do and what cost may be involved with that. Our website is www.iamsinc.com. That's IAMSINC.com. On our website, there's a number of tools that you have at your fingertips, really, and for us too. I use the website almost daily for searches for products, for income rider quote comparisons. Those are things that are actually available for you also. If you need term quotes, you want to see what some of our annuity products are, we do have our annuity grid, we call it, which is the book that we have. I call it a book. It's 45 pages at our desk. And in that, it has our top companies, sometimes most, if not all of their products. You can also find a income rider section. And there's also a part that talks about, has a lot of our multi-year rate products in there too. So if you're looking for a 3-year, 5-year, a 7-year rate, you can find some of the best rates in that book. Certainly everything is not in there, but it's available for you around the clock. Also, our webinar calendar's in there and our resource library. So if you've not been on our website lately, you might want to get a login, check it out. There's a lot of tools in there, fact finders in that resource library. There's a whole flood of information to help you in your practice. Take advantage of those things. Again, there's no cost to getting into there. And if there's something you're not finding or you need a specific case design, of course, you can always talk with one of us. All right, I want to turn the focus a little bit here on IAMS Wealth Management. Our wealth management area developed a little over two and a half years ago, and we have grown this quite a bit. If you'd like to know more about becoming a Series 65 and growing that type of the business that you have not been, and you'd like to know more about what's involved, what's the test like, what's the cost, what are the fees to becoming licensed for that, and what it can do for you. You want to talk with Charles Hiring Jr. and his team, And and I'm going to pose a question here that you can answer if you'd like. They'd be glad to get you some information if you just want something emailed. I know they have information about becoming a Series 65 advisor. But again, for a lot of the insurance-only producers out there, this may be a brand new type of business for you, but it does allow a fuller service and opens up to clients both in age and financials that you've not really talked to before. You just either didn't work that business, or you referred it on, or you just didn't worry about it. So again, let that team know what you need. If you have questions, you'd like to get something emailed, they'd be glad to help you with it. So appreciate your feedback on that. Again, Series 65 is a securities license that allows you to help your clients with their retirement dollars and charge a fee. Okay, and then also our Life and Annuity Academy. We are very proud of this program. We've offered this now for almost 10 years, and it is a 2-day producer training. Our next academy will be sometime in the spring. Don't have dates yet. If you're an active writer of fixed annuities or life insurance and would like to know a little bit more about this program, we'll be glad to get you information. I'd be glad to answer any questions. You can see here on the screen some of the things that we talk about. The program is updated and certainly is not the same program that we had last year or the year before, for that matter. So as things change in focus and competitiveness and what is important in the industry, we modify the program. It is a 2-day training. It is a Wednesday evening, all day Thursday, and half day Friday program. It will either be here in Omaha at our brokerage office, or it may be at one of our carriers in West Des Moines. So we don't have any of that established yet on the calendar at all, but we are accepting registrations. We would like to hear from you. We would like to know if this is a program that you're interested in. Again, we're not looking for people that are new in the industry or brand new to annuities. However, if you're writing business now or will be writing with us prior to this next academy, you'd have a good shot at this. Again, it's a program of about 30 to 35 agents, and typically. So if you'd like to get a little bit more information, maybe something emailed to you, we do have, I think there's an agenda on that. But we can certainly get you what you need and answer any questions that you have. So again, we're months away from our next academy. We have already received some registrations, and typically we get around 200 to 300 registrations for this program. So I would say get yours in. Please tell us if you're writing business, and we will definitely be following up with you and having a conversation with you. So we do appreciate your feedback and interest in the program. So again, we'll be glad to work with you on this. Okay, and then lastly, we'd like to talk about, not lastly, but the last thing I'd like to talk about here is an incentive, which is the Dash for Cash. And the program started here just recently. This is an Equitrust promotion. Again, business that you place between November 5th and December 20th would count. So for every $25,000 of an annuity or single life premium counts as one chance for a weekly drawing. Now, we say weekly, but the drawings, as you can see, are not every week. But we will have a drawing this Friday, November 30th. It will be our second one. And we would love to we would love to have you participate in that. So again, for every $25,000 of single premium life or annuity with Equitrust, it gets you one chance. So certainly we want to help you to be rewarded for that. And then on December 21st, we will have our last drawing, which is for everyone that participated up to that point. As you can see, that would be for $3,000, $2,000, and $1,000. So there'll be a total of $6,000 paid out on Friday, December 21st. So again, all premium with Equitrust, whether it's multi-year rate, index business, or single premium life, it all counts for this dash for cash. So take advantage of that while it's around. Again, if you have cases that you're working on and you want to see if they're actually if that would be suitable for Equitrust, we'd be glad to go through their product line with you. So, okay, so I want to thank you for taking part in that. Right now, I do want to move into our subject today, which is the IAMS 1040 checklist, and want to talk with you about this. This is a great concept. Again, I didn't create it, but it's basically how to utilize the tax return to learn more about your prospects and clients. And, a good time to do this could be any time you're sitting down to review, maybe a client review or an annual review, service review, or if you're updating your fact find at some point, maybe in the initial appointment or on a second appointment, whenever you would like to approach that. This is a great way to learn about your client's financial situation. Perhaps even after you just do business, it would be a good time to talk with them. Again, they have trust in you, and that's a good time to talk with people about learning about it. And again, they might ask you, well, why do you want to see my tax return? Because again, there's key line items that are in the 1040, and they help analyze and identify sales opportunities. So you may not necessarily answer that question that way, but they may say, well, why do you want to look at my tax return? Because what it does is, Mr. Client, Mr. Prospect, it tells me a little bit about where you're paying taxes and on what items you're paying taxes, or in areas that we might be able to save you money, both for retirement or on your insurance needs. So again, it's up to you to kind of utilize this. You may use this method with people that you've worked with for a long time that really know you well, perhaps. So anyhow, that's what it's designed to do, is to help identify cross-selling opportunities for you. Okay, so let's go through a few of these. We won't go through all of them, certainly. There's a lot of items on the 1040, but some areas that you might look at is the W-2 form, the tax form, W-2 form. And if you look here, you'll see, as it says, differences in line 1 and line 3 indicate participation in an employer's 401k plan or 403b plan. And then box 13 indicates active participation in employer's retirement plan. So this tells you, that your client, the individual that you're sitting down with, is in a retirement plan. They're active. The question might be here. And again, all the questions I have aren't necessarily what's written down here, but those are all good. They're all opportunities. But a question that always comes to mind is, are you maximizing your contribution for a match? And if you are, would you like to perhaps contribute to another retirement plan that can help you in the long run, perhaps be tax-free? So again, those are all just making aware of what the client currently has. If they're actively contributing to a retirement plan, especially a 401k. Another good question to ask here would be, or regarding to an in-service non-hardship withdrawal. So just because they're contributing to a retirement plan, it doesn't mean that we couldn't help them benefit from another opportunity such as a fixed annuity sale. So if they're a little older, close to 59 and a half, they might be able to take advantage of an in-service withdrawal, and that's where they can access part of the retirement plan and redirect it to a IRA. So again, good questions to all ask about plans that they're currently participating in. Okay, the address line, basically it's comparing the last 2 or 3 tax returns to see if there's been an address change. A question there could be, do you have enough property casualty insurance on your new home? Will you pay your mortgage and expenses should you be disabled? Do you have enough life insurance? Many of the cross-selling opportunities here really revolve around helping them with additional retirement programs or life insurance, and you're going to see that a lot. So I'm going to just step back here. Some of the product lines that we have here at Insurance Agency Marketing that you may not be aware of, certainly we have annuities, life insurance. We also have disability carriers. We have MedSup and Medicare Advantage now. We do have a few long-term care carriers still, and we do have single premium life. So certainly our focus here at the brokerage has been fixed annuities and life insurance for many, many years, as most of you know. Okay, filing status. So filing status will basically tell us, are they married or single, which of course they could tell us that without seeing the tax return. But so questions to ask here would be, if recently married, if that has been a change for them in their life story. Have you reviewed and updated your beneficiary designations on life insurance policies or retirement plans and other financial assets? Have you thought about purchasing additional life insurance? So I think that is a big, big opportunity that we need to take advantage of. Likewise, if they're recently divorced, again, have you reviewed and updated your beneficiary designations on life insurance, qualified plans, and other financial assets? And now that you're single, have you thought about purchasing disability insurance or long-term care? Because perhaps now that they're on their own, they don't have another person to rely on for income. So again, there could be a cross-selling opportunity regardless of the change in the marital status. Moving on, we want to just talk a little bit about dependents and exemptions. What to look for here on the tax return would be, spouse, children, grandchildren with special needs. Again, if questions that you could ask, and there's a number of them, have you considered tax deferral opportunities provided by annuity products and cash value life insurance? Should the unthinkable happen to you and your spouse, do you have enough life insurance to cover your dependents' needs if one of you unexpectedly passes away? So again, anytime we're talking about dependents, a good question would be, again, going back to proper life insurance coverage. All right, taxable interest, line 8A, and tax-exempt interest, line 8B. Here we're talking about questions that could come from this type of area on the tax return would be, have you considered moving some savings into tax-deferred annuity products and cash values? So in other words, ways to eliminate or reduce the taxable interest. So what is a good tax-deferred annuity or tax-deferred product, I should say, is an annuity, a fixed could be variable, but it is fixed. Fixed or fixed index products, again, is what we help our producers with, help you with every day. And that's an area that you could reposition some assets to. So these, again, are generating interest that is taxable, such as savings accounts, money markets, CDs, taxable bonds. And those are, that's would bring up a conversation about, how much do you have in those types of vehicles, and is it enough or more than enough liquid to take care of your shorter term needs? If you don't need that all in there, maybe we need to talk about ways to defer that and keep it safe for retirement. It doesn't have to necessarily be locked in for retirement, but it could be. Alimony received, determine if the amount is a considerable source of income. And a good question there would be, if life insurance wasn't specified in your settlement, would you consider purchasing life insurance on your ex-spouse should they die prematurely? So again, anytime we're talking about income, dependent income, or income source that could cease, we may want to talk to our prospects about life insurance. And again, disability is another important area. Business income or loss, line 12 and Schedule C. So here we want to identify the type of business entity. I know that we all in this role we are talking as if we're talking to individuals, but we may be talking to small business owners too. They may have a small business. So we want to talk about this because it can lead to another opportunity that's not listed on this page. But I work with quite a bit here with individuals, and that is small business pension program. So identify the type of business entity, and there's lots of good cross-selling opportunities, good questions to ask, long-term care, annuity, disability questions that you could ask, and have you consider the tax deferral opportunities provided by annuity products and cash value life insurance. So just briefly, the small business pension program at American National is one of our top companies, is another cross-selling opportunity that you might talk to this individual or individuals about at another time, but you could certainly plant the seed here. So if they have a small business, you want to ask them maybe at another time, would they like to discuss a retirement program for that small business? And American National, I'll put a plug in for them. They have a small business pension that targets businesses of 1 employee to 35 employees. And really, you don't have to be the expert here, but you might ask them, do you currently have a retirement program for your small business, a pension? If they don't, or if they do and they'd like to know more, what you could do is provide a census program, or a census, I should say, to them, where you gather the facts, and all you have to do is send it off to American National, and the experts there will, with that information and perhaps some tax documents that they may have to provide, they can turn around a proposal and say, this is a retirement plan that you should have, or the one you have is costing you too much. And there's a whole nother sale for you right there. All right. Moving on. Capital gains and losses, which is line 13. These are gains and losses that indicate the client or prospect aggressively invests. So questions that you might ask here: did you know that annuities might be a more tax efficient option, especially for retirement? So again, if this is due to maybe being a little aggressive, or just not having a good year in the market, what have you, annuities can be more steady, guarantee a principal. It could be a cross-sell opportunity Also, permanent life insurance could be a conservative part of the asset holding. So again, it doesn't have to be necessarily annuities. It could be maybe recommending something a little more steady that also has a life insurance, a death benefit feature. So IRA and pension distributions, which is lines 15 and 16. Sorry about that. I'm moving the slide too fast. So what do we look for here? If the required minimum distribution is made because of age, determine the value of the IRA and other qualified accounts. So the great thing about IRA and pension distributions lines is that if this is from the required minimum distribution, knowing the formula can tell you about how much they have in their IRA, because there's a table that we all have access to that will tell us basically how much they would be. You'd be able to figure out what they have. But some good questions to ask here. Updated beneficiary designations on IRAs. If you don't need your entire RMD for living expenses, would you consider applying some of these funds towards an annuity or life insurance or long-term care? Again, so we hear from our life marketing that many of the single premium life sales out there are generated from individuals that received RMD payments and don't use them. And it's a great way to turn around and reinvest. Of course, there's a number of financial instruments that could be initiated with an RMD payment. But again, going back into an annuity product makes a lot of sense. Again, it depends on the person and what's suitable for them. But there are opportunities there because there are many, many people that receive the RMD distribution, required minimum distribution on their IRAs, and they don't really need it to live on. Okay, moving on to the next section, which is rental, real estate, royalties, partnerships, and so on. Line 17, Schedule E. This is cash flow that could be used to buy an annuity or additional life insurance. Again, understanding the income, what is the need for that income, what's the purpose, and if it's just additional income coming in, it could provide another opportunity to visit with them about life insurance or a retirement. Not much really to say about moving expenses, so I'm going to move on to IRA deduction. What to look for here is to determine, line 32 by the way, what to look for is to determine if they're taking advantage of tax deductible contributions to an IRA, and if there is no deduction, then that's an opportunity to perhaps ask why. So questions that we can ask here that could lead to something further. Have you reviewed your updated beneficiary designations? Okay, are you happy with your IRA investment allocations? Would you like to see if you're eligible for a Roth conversion and learn how it may benefit you? So again, opportunities to visit with an individual. If you're an agent that writes life insurance or annuities, as you're going through, you can hear the common theme. Either way, if you're a life producer or a retirement planner, or you help people with annuities only, there are a lot of opportunities in these areas to have a discussion, as long as you understand what category, what item we're on. Okay, and then itemized deductions. For example, now this is line 40 and it's on Schedule A. So you look at yearly contributions to a favorite charity. And good question here would be, did you know you can purchase life insurance, a life insurance policy listing your charity as a beneficiary? I think that's a huge cross-selling opportunity right there. Okay, wrapping up here, got a few more to go through and then we will be completed. The federal income tax withheld and refund, that's lines 61 and 72. So what to look for here is noting the size of their refund and see if they need to adjust to withholding to free up more cash to purchase insurance products. If they like to get the refund as it is or would like to continue that way, a good question is what do you use the refund for every spring? Are you using it to pay off a debt or a bill, or do you just simply leave it in your savings account because you're not sure where else to go with that? Some people just like to have a refund. So I know many people have that earmarked for something, but oftentimes it's a good time to plant a seed for, besides adjusting the withholding, is have you considered using a portion of it to purchase tax deferred annuities? Maybe get going on a different retirement program that you haven't had yet that's tax deferred, guarantee of principal, can't lose, no risk to the principal. Those are all good ideas, maybe for them to get to get using an additional retirement plan that they haven't so far. All right. So additional questions that you can ask after reviewing the 1040 would be: do you have IRAs that you're not receiving distributions from? So that would be, again, for anyone that's not 59 and a half or even up to age 70 and they haven't taken their RMDs. So do you have other IRA programs that you're currently letting grow, continuing to defer till the future? If so, what types of vehicles are those IRAs in? Are you happy with the results? If you're not, I'd certainly be glad to visit with you further about some options that can help you participate in the market without being in the market, without risking your principal. Would you like to hear more about those opportunities? Another question here: do you have any old 401k plans that haven't been rolled into your IRA? From a presentation that I've given for the last few years on 401k prospecting, we find that we hear of many people that have 401k plans that they've left behind after they left an employer, not sure what to do with it, maybe didn't know how to move that money, or didn't really talk to anyone about it, or they felt the balance wasn't a big balance, so I'm not worried about it. It's a great way to pick up additional sales for those individuals that may have maybe not forgotten about it, but sometimes they do forget about those, especially if they're not $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. Maybe they're a $10,000. But again, it's a great way to pick up an additional sale, help them with an IRA rollover. Do you have any existing 401ks that you're still contributing to? This is a potential opportunity also, because as I mentioned way back in the beginning, I think it was our slide, very first one, talking about W-2, where it identifies if the client is contributing. As that person that we're referring to here is 59 and a half or older, and if they're working for an employer that has any amount of employees to it, oftentimes they are eligible for an in-service non-hardship withdrawal, which means that they could take a portion of their 401k out and redirect it to an IRA program. So again, they'd have to check with their employer to find out if they're eligible. If they're eligible, how much they have that they can do something with, and again, they're still working, still contributing to the 401k plan, but they are eligible for a non-hardship withdrawal, which allows them to redirect those dollars to a self-directed IRA. Okay. And then lastly, do you have any annuities, cash value, life insurance, or long-term care policy? So, we're asking about where the taxes are coming from on those investment vehicles, pensions, bank CDs, but again, an additional kind of catch-all question. Do you have existing annuities, cash value life insurance? Maybe your life policies are not competitive anymore. Maybe they're not doing what they could, or they're starting to increase in cost, what have you. Would be a good time to review your current life insurance, see what it's doing for you. Is there a better program out there for you? Same thing with annuities. Is it a variable product? Is it fixed? Is it doing what it should? Is it costing you more than it should? Again, there are a lot of programs out there that become obsolete even among the best companies and products. So these are opportunities to pick up information about, get statements, get policies, review them, and find out if there's additional products that we can provide that are more competitive, help your client, helping you. I want to thank you today for your time. I appreciate it. And as I mentioned, the webinar is recorded and will be made available later. If there's a question that you asked and I didn't answer it in here, I will be getting back with you. I do get a report with all the questions that might have been asked, or if there is something that you think of later, by all means, give me a call here. I'll be here the rest of the week. So we want to thank you again for your attendance, your interest, and we look forward to serving you in the days and weeks to come. Thanks so much and have a great day.